like comic books?
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
I'm quite keen on comic books.
Movies.
Movies.
Movies. The movies. Stupid TV shows. TV shows. TV shows.
But what are some of your favorite TV shows?
Can be enjoyed as video games, as TV shows, books, movies, the entire world. Wholeheartedly embrace the apocalypse. Let's start the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special late night edition of the Next Issue Podcast Live. Solo tonight on a Sunday. A lot of stuff going on this weekend for everyone on the show, but I did not want to miss the opportunity to still talk about some of the comic books I bought this week and some of the stuff I've been watching. Don't want to fall behind. To kick off the show real quick though, and it should be a pretty short one, but let me know what you're reading, watching, all the stuff in the comments or in the chat. Real quick though, quick rundown of the show. We're gonna be talking just briefly about the TASK finale that will happen tonight. If you're an HBO watcher like me, I really enjoy that show. There'll be no spoilers. The only spoiler I'll leave you with is that this will probably be my pick for what you should be watching this upcoming Friday, our weekly series where I tell you what you should be watching. This past weekend, I picked Chainsaw Man because I'm very excited about the upcoming film this week. So yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. Also, as a reminder, if you missed it yesterday on our live stream, our weekly Saturday show, Clay and I did a little bit of a quick smash or pass for comic book gimmicks. So, variant covers, specialty writers, blind bags, all that stuff. So go check it out and let me know what are your favorite comic book gimmicks or maybe some of the ones that you don't really enjoy. So let's get into talking about TASK real quick. So this show is apparently it was created by the same by Brad Inglesby, who is the same writer or creator of the show The Mare of Easttown with Kate Winslet, which I hear is a very good show. I don't know much about it. I haven't seen it. I know it's on HBO because it keeps asking me to go check it out. I think he also did the film The Way Back. It was written by it was a Kevin O'Connor directed film, but it was written by Brad Inglesby. That was the film where Ben Affleck came back to be the coach for his for a team, his old high school team. Interestingly enough, that was the last film I got to watch in theaters before the pandemic closed everything down. So I think that's a film I'll never forget, really. But back to TASK, back to the task at hand, if you will. This show's great. 7 episodes. They're about an hour long. This is definitely a crime drama. It stars Mark Ruffalo, Tom Pelphrey, Alison Oliver, Emilia Jones. It's just really great. I really get a lot of vibes, kind of like Sons of Anarchy, and just these like really cool, great, intricate dramas. It really is about the writing of these characters, but also on top of that, the world that they build, the relationships that they build with all the every character has very like different ties to their family or their whatever the case may be. So like they're really good at building those relationships, making those things important. A character-driven show is what really attracted me to this. Obviously, there's a lot of action, and there's of course a lot of stuff happening with crime as well. But it was really the personal stuff that I think kept me really hooked and kind of made me care about the characters. I was pretty nervous about this finale of like, who's gonna make it out alive and all that stuff. So, highly recommend you check out TASK. It is now all available on HBO Max. If you are, if you're looking for a nice crime drama, I think this will really check all the boxes there. And like I said, just great performances. Mark Ruffalo is like doing stuff on I mean, he's always been a great actor, but yeah, this is just stuff that I haven't seen in a while, mainly because he's been doing like stuff like, just being the Hulk. So but this is great. It reminds me of his time on that movie Spotlight. That was a really good film, and he just a lot of character work on that one as well. So highly recommend you check out Task. I don't know what HBO is gonna put in the Sunday night spot now. Hopefully they fill in with something good, because now that Peacemaker is over and now that Task is over, I know the Pit doesn't come back till January of next year. So I need something. I need a Sunday night show. The A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is not till 2026 as well. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna fill in the gap for what's remaining of the year. So we'll stay tuned for that. So all right. Let me talk about a few other things that I have been watching. This is gonna be our previously on segment. Normally, obviously, we go around the horn, but it's just me tonight. A lot of TV's back for the fall. One thing I didn't even realize was back was a show on Fox called Doc, about this doctor that has an accident. She's like the head of medicine at her hospital, but she has an accident, and then she forgets the past 8 years. But she stays on at the hospital as a doctor to try to like work her way back and maybe help her get some of those memories back. Season 1 was very interesting, and I didn't realize that season 2 was back. I was already like 4 episodes behind, so I guess I must start at the beginning of September. But I'm back watching Doc. I'm back watching Matlock. Matlock is back on CBS, so a lot of that network television is back. Matlock had a 2-episode premiere. They did one on Sunday and then did one on Thursday night, which is the regular night for Matlock. There's another show that I haven't seen, but I do want to watch it on CBS as well. Myrna Baccarin's Sheriff. It looked like a very interesting show, and I like Miranda Baccarin, so I'll probably go check that out sometime this week. I'll keep you guys updated. And then Abbott Elementary is back as well. I think there's 2 episodes out. Abbott's great. It's just a really, really funny sitcom. So outside of that, I haven't really watched anything over the top when it comes to television. I mean, like Law and Order's back, so I'm watching those. Those are just those are my procedurals. Like I don't watch any of the NCIS or any of that stuff, but I do like Law and Order and Law and Order SVU. So I do keep watching those as they kind of come out. But we'll see as the fall season kind of kicks off. I'm sure I'll be picking up other shows on TV. Now on to some movies. I did check out some movies. I also got to go to the theater, so that was also a lot of fun. Let me pull up my letterbox here. How about that? Let's do that, because I don't know. Let me see where I left off. I'll check out recent reviews because I usually review everything. Okay. So last week I talked about watching Tron Ares. You can check out my review on Letterboxd for that. It's a spectacle, so if you want to see it for that. I also talked about Father of the Bride because unfortunately Diane Keaton passed away. So this week I watched 4 movies, and I'll talk about them each briefly, because I might do a full review for Black Phone 2. That was the first film that I watched. This is one of those rare sequels that actually is better, I think, or as good as the original. Even though this one's just based off on all new material, like the Black Phone story by Joe Hill was a short story in one of his books. So they adapted that for the first film. So this is all new original stuff. They really take a lot of big swings with their story and where they go. And then, of course, just really great performances. A lot of the cast is back. Some of the kids have grown up because time has passed. So they use the same actors, which I think is very cool. Also, Anna Laurie, who is an internet personality, maybe. I mean, she's an actor for sure, but like I knew her from doing YouTube stuff back in the day. So really cool to see her in this. A very important role. I didn't realize how pivotal her role was going to be until we really got into the film. So that was really fun. I think it's pretty scary. So yeah, I recommend you go check out Black Phone 2. Scott Derrickson, like I really like his horror films. he really checks a lot of my boxes when it comes to like my horror sensibilities, because I'm not a big horror person, but like a lot of his, like I really like all of Scott Derrickson's movies. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, the other Black Phone film, of course, Doctor Strange from the Marvel Universe, The Gorge, which is a recent film from Apple TV. So yeah, I'm a pretty big Scott Derrickson fan. So um, unfortunately, he left some of the social media where I followed him, so I wasn't able to at least just tag him in like, hey, your movie was pretty good. So if anybody sees it, send it over. And then the rest of the stuff I watched was on Netflix. I was looking for something to watch on Saturday, well, before I went to my Star Wars tournament, because we had a shorter show. I ended up watching a new film with Keira Knightley called The Woman in Cabin 10. It's kind of a thriller. It's a very small film. This reporter goes onto a yacht with all these billionaires because they're about to make an announcement about a charity foundation. So she's there to cover the whole thing. When weird things start to happen, maybe somebody's been murdered on this yacht, and she's digging into it. The movie's okay. I think it falls apart a little bit at the end, but Keira Knightley's great in it, so I had a pretty good time. Then I also watched The Lincoln Lawyer. This is a film from 2011. I think I had seen this before, but I didn't have it logged on Letterboxd. So usually, whenever I see a film that's recommended on some of the streaming services that I have, and I realize that I don't have it logged on Letterboxd, those are some of the films that I kind of prioritize, because I'm like, I've seen this film, I think I like it or not, don't like it, whatever. So let's go back and revisit it. Matthew McConaughey is great as the Lincoln Lawyer. I really enjoy the film. I didn't realize how many people are in it. Like Bryan Cranston's in it. What's his name? Not William Hurt. William H. Macy is in it. Ryan Phillippe's in it. Marissa Tomei is in it. Josh Lucas. So like, yeah, John Leguizamo's in it. So it's a pretty good film. Like I said, I think if you enjoy like courtroom drama type of things, I think this is gonna be up your alley. It's pretty intense. They even turned it into a Netflix series as well, or I guess they redid it as a Netflix series. So yeah, recommend Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. Also leaving Netflix soon. Two movies that I want to check out hopefully before they leave. First of all, the original Point Break, Catherine Bigelow's, I think probably big hit that really put her on the map. At least for the mainstream. That's leaving Netflix soon, and also Den of Thieves, which is one of my favorite crime movies. Highly recommend you check those out before they leave Netflix. At least in North America. I don't know if they rotate out. And then the last movie I'll talk about before we get into comic books, which is the good stuff. It's called Premonition from 2007. This is the only reason I put it on is because Sandra Bullock is in it. The movie is okay. It's not very good. The story is just, it gets really weird. They take a lot of chances with stuff, but I think things quickly fall apart. It's very confusing. I think Sandra Bullock does a really good job with her performance. But even then, the movie doesn't really dig into what her character wants to be. Let me give you the synopsis for this one and why I wanted to check it out. A depressed housewife who learns her husband was killed in a car accident the day previously awakens the next morning to find him alive and well at home, and then awakens the day after to a world in which he's still dead. Yeah, it's like I said, it's very confusing very quickly. And yeah, I don't think it pays off any of that stuff that it tries to set up very well. But like I said, Sandra Bullock is good. So I mean, I'm not gonna recommend you watch it. But if you like it or if you've seen it before, let me know what you think down in the comments. All right, let's move on to comic books, and this is gonna be a rather short stream, like I said, because it is just me here, and it is a school night. So let's go through some of the comics that I picked up and that I have read. I haven't put these in any specific order of like things that I have read and haven't read. But I do have some highlights. I need to also figure out which one's my favorite for the week. There's quite a few good things actually this week, which we have a lot of reviews for. So, okay. Let's start with I think that's my favorite for the week, so I'll leave that there. First of all, One World Under Doom. Brian North, RB Silva. This is the penultimate issue of this. We have a full review for this on the channel, but man, oh man, this was good. Dr. Doom is doing some big swings, big gambles, and I don't know if they're going to pay off for him. So we'll see what happens in the last issue. I think he's willing to risk everything that he cares about and that he loves, and that is that can be. I think that's going to be very dramatic when it resolves ultimately. So, all right, next I'm going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons: The Fallbacks. This is a new book by Greg Pak. Oh, I forget the name of the artist. This is covered by Marguerite Sauvage. I do know that, but the art inside the book. Sometimes here we go. It is by Will Santos. That's right, Will Santos. This book is a lot of fun. It's an adaptation of a D&D book by the same name, The Fallbacks, and it follows this party that they are not the most capable of parties, but they still do. They go on adventures and they're trying to get stuff done. And then when they finally find something they can do, another party shows up that does everything better than they can. So really interesting premise. I quite enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. And I love Greg Pak. I've been reading his books. I realized last week that I've been reading his books for like almost 20 years. So yeah, I think I'm going to wait until this is all done to read because it's only going to be 4 issues. So, but if you like Dungeons and Dragons, I think you'll quite enjoy the Fallbacks. Next, real quick, Wonder Woman number 26. Yeah, number 26, Tom King. Daniel St. Pierre, very good stuff. We continue in the island of mice and men with the Mouseman and the Mouseman knows. I have a full review for this coming out tomorrow on the channel, so I'll leave it at that. Go check that out tomorrow, full in depth. But man, this story continues to be fantastic. I don't know what the future of this book is because I don't see any solicits. They might be rebooting things. I haven't looked at all the announcements. I hope they don't because I like this ongoing, and I know that Tom King has big plans for Wonder Woman and the Wonder War and everything that they've been setting up. So, but I think DCKO might reset some things, or at least reset some of the series. And then let's see. Let me take a look on our backlog of reviews because I reviewed a bunch of things. I reviewed some of the X-Men books, but I did not pick those up. Let me see here. There's a lot of good stuff this week though. So we have I did some reviews as well for stuff from the previous week, but I read Iron and Frost number 1. Kevin Scott does a really good job with this new Iron Man and Emma Frost relationship and the Age of Revelation. Also, Unbreakable X-Men number 1 was pretty good. Rogue fights Galactus in that one, so that was fun. And the Long Shots number 1, that was from last week. Ooh, Endeavor number 1 also came out. That is a book from DSTLRY. Stephanie Phillips, Mark Lamming. Highly recommend. A bunch of people go out to sea in a replica of a historical ship, and then something mysterious happens. Only the kids are left, and now the kids have to figure out how to keep going after that. So that should be a lot of fun. So before I give you my favorite thing of the week, let me show you some of the stuff that I bought that I haven't got a chance to read. So first I picked up, I got to go to Zeus yesterday, if you're familiar with the Dallas comic shops, because I was there at Common Grounds playing in a tournament. So whenever I go to Common Grounds, I stop at Zeus and pick up some really cool things, which they had this Michael Turner Civil War number 3 foil reprint This is one of my favorite covers from the Civil War era of Marvel. Michael Turner, of course, was a fantastic artist. And if you watch my video opening my magic cards for the Spider-Man set, you'll see that I actually pulled a Michael Turner variant. So, the Michael Turner card that is based on this cover. So that's why I picked it up, because I had just pulled a card. I also picked this. I picked this up at Sanctuary. That's in the Las Colinas Valley Ranch area. This is the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These are the turtles from the movie, from the latest movie, The Mutant Mayhem. And the reason I picked this up was to give it to one of my little nephews. They're my cousin's kid, but I call them my nephews because they are. So yeah, he loves Ninja Turtles. I don't think he can read yet, but his older brother may be able to read. I'm not sure. I don't remember when kids learn to read. So, but I wanted to get him started on comics, and maybe that'll do it. Also picked up Artificial in issue number 2, Maria Lovett's book about these androids that are run on AI and that are kind of like you build your own date. It's very interesting. Of course, it's very spicy because it is Maria Lovett. That's the kind of books that she does. But it's great. I haven't gotten to read issue 2, but I'm very excited to get into it. Picked up issue 2 of the Red Band Punisher. Very excited to also jump into this one. As you can see, I haven't even ripped the bag. Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone number 3. I'm also behind on this one, but very excited to dive into it. The last one left off in a pretty cool place. Legacy of Vader. This is the Kylo Ren book by Charles Soule. I actually just dropped a review for the first volume of this, which was collected very recently. I dropped that on the channel yesterday. So if you want to, it covers issues 1 through 6. This is issue 9. So I'm waiting for the volumes to be completed, and then I'll go back and read these. But yeah, Charles Soule writing Kylo Ren is just a perfect fit. Lucky Devils number 5. I'm also behind on this book, but I love this book. Ryan Brown and Charles Soule, once again, like they're just such a great comic book duo. Let's see what else we have. Okay, Battle Beast. What issue is this? Battle Beast number 6 from the Invincible universe. This book is just bonkers, bananas every time. So I'm behind on. I haven't read this specific issue, but I'm really enjoying the series. Next, from Dan Waters, we have Nightwing 131, another great comic that I like. Nightwing ever since Tom Taylor took over, and now that Tom Taylor's done and Dan Waters took over, like both of the series have been a lot of fun. They really have their own unique take on Nightwing, each of them. So that's great. Absolute Flash number 8. I can't believe this book, pardon the pun, it moves really fast. I can't believe we're already at number 8. Yeah, very excited to also dig into this one. Jeff Lemire's doing some really fun stuff as well with this Absolute Flash universe. And then of course, we don't know what the consequences are going to be after DC KO into this book. And then the last book that I picked up was this second printing of Batman number 1. This is another different cover by Dan Mora. I really love Dan Mora's art, so I was not afraid to pick up another variant. I really love this book. I've talked about Batman number 1 for a little while, so you can go back and check that out. Now, before I show you my favorite book of the week, the last thing I picked up was this American Vampire work in progress print. This is an oversized reprinting of the first issue of American Vampire. This is a book by Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, very cool. These are really cool because it's just like, it's almost like a mini artist edition, because it's just the first issue of the book. It's got a few things like some designs in the back and sketches and stuff. Yeah, these are great. I actually missed out on buying the Absolute Batman number 1 of this, so I'm still looking for that. So hopefully, I would rather buy it locally at one of the shops around here, but I might have to go to the web for that. So we'll see. But yeah, if you enjoy looking at the art, I really recommend these work in progress prints, reprints. They're very, very fun. Now, my favorite book of the week, and this is an unexpected one because I'm not the biggest fan of actually either one of these properties, but it is a big crossover. It is the Fantastic Four Gargoyles #1 crossover. This book is a lot of fun. It's really cool to see these two properties together. This is the Marvel side of this. Dynamite's also going to publish a Gargoyles Fantastic Four on their own in November. But this is a lot of fun. I also picked up the blank cover so I can get maybe a sketch or a commission or something later on. So, yeah, a lot of really cool comics this week. But yeah, my favorite one was Fantastic Four Gargoyles #1. Really, really cool stuff. Now, before we get out of here, let's go check out what I'm going to be checking out. What you can expect from the upcoming week. So let me pull up my pull list here, and let me see this one. Yeah, that should work. Let me just change the size here. There we go. All right, so here is my pull list for next week. Now, the way I set up my pull list on the League of Comic Geeks, I don't just include the stuff that I'm picking up. I include a lot of the stuff that I'm also reviewing. So, for example, I'm picking up Absolute Wonder Woman for sure, #13, which I've already read, but I still pick up the comic anyways. But I'm not picking up the DC Sonic the Hedgehog trade paperback, but I am gonna do a review for it because it's finally all collected and it's all out. So it just helps me keep track of all the stuff. Detective Comics 1102. We continue with the Fearless story. Batman's infected with a virus that makes him fearless, and he has 2 days to figure out what the heck is going on. Exquisite Corpses #6. That one I've also read. It's fantastic. I'll probably do a review for this since I need to check out what the next collection here. Matter of fact, let me check out I'm trying to see what the next collection will include. So this will be in volume 2 because volume 1 included only issues 1, 2, and 3, but issue 1 was a triple size book, so it's really 5 issues. So so volume 2 will have issues 4 through 8. So I'll probably just do a video when number 8 comes out and do 4 through 8 to kind of catch up on that. All right, we have Fantastic Four #4. We also have DCKO, the tie-in, The Flash 26, which I have read. All the tie-ins for DCKO are actually really, really good. So I'll have a review for that on the channel later on. We have the Hello Halloween special from Boom Studios. It's got a new R.L. Stine story in there. We also have the Justice League Unlimited 12, which is another DCKO tie-in. Marvel Zombies Red Band #2, which the first one was fantastic and far and above was one of the most watched reviews on the channel. So you guys are also really enjoying that. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Halloween special. I haven't read that one. I do have it, and hopefully I can get a chance to do a video for that. And then the New History of the the DC Universe by Mark Waid and a bunch of artists. Let me see who are the artists on this one. Tony Daniel and Hayden Sherman. So I mean, it's gonna look real cool, and I think this is the last one of that. So yeah, Mark Waid has kind of restructured the story of the DC universe. And then the hardcover for Out of Alcatraz comes out. This might be one of my favorite books of 2025. We already have a review for the full series. I might do a re-release with like some other stuff from when I pick up the hardcover, I'll talk about what else you can expect. Another anthology book from EC Comics, Outlaw Showdown. This is a one-shot doing some Western stories. Skinbreaker #2, great book, Dave Finch, Robert Kirkman with their big epic over at Image Skybound. Speed Racer Tales from the Road #1. This is a little one shot. I believe it's a little one shot in the world of Speed Racer. The Superman issue for this week is Superman 31, which I have read as well. It's really good. TMNT #12. This is the last issue by Jason Aaron, and oh boy, I forgot the name of the artist. That's embarrassing. Juan Ferreira. That's right. This is gonna end their run and then set things up for the upcoming creative team. So highly recommend you check that out. The Terminator Metal. This is a new series from Dynamite. In the world of this Terminator that they've set up. Very cool. Declan Shalvey still writing it. Rory McInville, which I believe had done some art already on it, will continue to be on it. So it's kind of a little bit of a relaunch. And then we have a bunch of stuff from the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Spider-Man 22, which we're approaching the end of this universe. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #5, which is confusing. But this is the last issue of that. So I will probably do a series review for that now that it's all going to be out. And then, of course, the Ultimates #17, Dennis Camp. The Invisible Man continues over at the Universal Monsters universe and Skybound, Image Skybound. This book has been great. Danny's art is fantastic. We have Warwolf #1 from Mad Cave Studios. And then I put this on here just to remember that it was coming out so I can tell people about it. But Why the Last Man Unmanned, the first volume. Oh, let me see. That's interesting. Let's see what it actually collects. It's 248 pages. I don't think it's the full series because the full series is pretty long. I wonder how many issues it collects though. 248. Let's divide that by 20. I would say this is about 10-ish. So maybe like the first 2 volumes. I would say this is about 10. Yeah, about maybe the first 2 volumes. I'll try to pick it up because I love these compact comics. You can see, I mean, you can't see them now, but I have my pile of compact comics right there. But yeah, that's all the stuff I'm picking up the next week. So, at least the stuff I'm interested in reading. I don't know if I'll pick up everything, but like I said, I like to keep track of everything coming out that I'm interested in. Now, you guys know I'm not really reading the new X-Men stuff. I mean, I'm not really picking up the new X-Men stuff. I do have a friend who lets me read it because they are picking it up. So that way I can bring you videos about it. But there are X-Men books coming out this week from the Age of Revelation. I'm just kind of upset about how Marvel is approaching that because it's just going to be relaunched in at the beginning of next year anyway. So The Last Wolverine comes out. I'll definitely have a review for that. I love Wolverine, and I think the team. Who's the team on here? Is it still Saladin? Yeah, Saladin Ahmed, who's been writing the ongoing Wolverine. So his stuff has actually been pretty great. I just caught up all the way to Wolverine issue 13. So Omega Kids #1. This is another book in that Age of Revelations universe. This one is by Tony Fleeks and Andre Genolet. So that should be cool. Tony Fleeks is actually a fantastic writer and artist, maybe. I don't remember if he does his own art in some of his creator-owned series. We have Radioactive Spider-Man as well, #1. This is a Joe Kelly book with Kev Walker. That's probably going to be pretty good as well. But like I said, it's just tough with all these X-Men books, Age of Revelation things to kind of keep up. And then the last one is this Book of Revelation, which I feel like this is not. Is this an ongoing as well? Yeah, it looks like it is. This is by Jed McKay and Neto Diaz. So this might be kind of like the Avengers. Well, I guess Jed McKay was also doing the X-Men book. So yeah, we'll see. I should have reviews for the X-Men books as well. Like I said, I'm able to read them once I get in touch with my friend. So, but yeah, still not picking those up. I'm out on the X-Men. You guys can go check out the video as to why I'm out on the X-Men. But I think that's gonna do it. We did it all, right? We talked about Task, HBO Max, so go check that out. We talked about all the stuff I've been watching, movies and TV. And then we talked about all the comics that I read this week, all the comics that I still haven't read the week, and all the comics I'm going to be reading the next week and the upcoming weeks. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, I already have, I'm looking at the videos right now. We will have, first of all, I'm going to be doing an unboxing for my Gundam box from the previous set, a new Rising. The new set drops this upcoming week, so maybe I'll do, hopefully I can do another unboxing for that. We also have a review for Titans number 28, Wonder Woman number 26, and then the big collection, Eddie Brock Carnage Volume 1. So yeah, stay tuned for that on the channel, and then we'll have regular videos for the week. Any trailers that come out, we'll be covering that as well, as I can. Also, thank you to everyone that watched my interview with a vampire first look, extended look trailer. You guys are great. I am looking to start reading the Interview with a Vampire books as soon as I'm done with Stephen King's The Running Man. I guess that was the other thing I didn't talk about. I am reading, or I'm listening to The Running Man, the book by Stephen King, because the movie is coming out in November. So I want to see, I listened to The Long Walk before the movie came out, and now I'm listening to The Running Man. So, but yeah, there you have it. We should be back next week. We're planning to do a show on Saturday about Peacemaker, since we have all seen it, and then on Sunday we should have our regularly scheduled comic book show like this, where we talk about everything that we've been consuming this week. So thanks for watching. Let me know what your favorite thing was this week, whether it's TV, movies. Hopefully there's a few movies coming out next week that I'm also very excited to watch, so hopefully that can happen. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
The most important thing in life will always be
Hell, Bebo.
Twitter loves you.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right, bye.
Get out of here, you weirdo.